Alright, you all need some outside perspective because my family's making me feel like the bad guy. I, 30 male, moved into a new place a few months back. It's nothing fancy, but it's a stable spot for me and my young grammar school-aged son. Around that time, my younger brother Tyrell, 24, and his girlfriend Amber, 22, got evicted and asked if they could crash with me for a while. I didn't want to, but they had nowhere else and I figured it'd just be temporary. At first, it was fine, but after about a month, they started getting way too comfortable, ignoring house rules I set, like no random people over when I'm not home, no smoking in the house, and being respectful when my son is there. Instead, they had people in and out while I was at work, left the place trashed, blasted music while my son was sleeping, and I caught Amber smoking in the bathroom twice. The biggest issue was how they disrespected my son's mother. Now, my baby moms and I aren't together, but we're cool. She picks up our son on weekends and sometimes drops him off at the house. Well, Amber took it upon herself to start making little slick comments whenever my son's mom came by. Petty, unnecessary stuff like, "Oh, you actually showed up this time," or "Didn't know you still cared." My son's mom kept it classy, but she told me it made her uncomfortable, and I agreed it was out of pocket. I confronted them about everything, and Tyrell tried to downplay it like she was just joking and told me to stop being sensitive. That was the last straw for me. I gave them 30 days to find somewhere else. Of course, now I'm the bad guy. My mom's blowing up my phone saying family sticks together and they just need guidance. Amber's been posting subliminals on Facebook about fake people who pretend to help you then turn their backs. But I don't care. My house, my rules. I'm raising a son and I'm not about to let two grown adults bring chaos into my home. I hate to say it, but one day the consequence is going to lead Tyrell to jail or death if he doesn't fix it. He's burning every bridge he has right now. Am I the idiot for kicking them out after they disrespected my house, my rules, and my son's mother? Not the idiot. My mom's blowing up my phone saying family sticks together and they just need guidance. Your mom is family, right? And who better to guide the mother of one of the problems? Why doesn't she offer them a home? Yep, exactly. Ask Mum what time you should bring over all their stuff so you can get the locksmith in to change the locks. They've stepped over so many lines that they deserve no grace. Your mum saying family sticks together is rich when she's not dealing with the disrespect, mess or drama. If she truly believes they need guidance, maybe she should step up and provide that under her roof. You did more than your share. Oh, and your family is likely overreacting because they'll have to step up next, and it's easier for them if they stay with you. Do not let anyone tell you you're wrong. Sorry to say it, OP, and I'm not trying to be an idiot, but if you can all bend over backwards in the hope that maybe he won't go to jail, then he ought to go to jail so he can learn already. Some people unfortunately have to hit rock bottom before they learn. Others hit rock bottom, learn nothing, and at least release their chokehold from their families. Neither's great, but being related to someone with problems is not the same as being family. The latter doesn't come with consistent disrespect, hurt, drama, and mistreatment. You are the idiot. Can't believe you gave them 30 days. 30 days is the law in most places if you're a tenant. As a father, your priority is your son's well-being and a stable environment. When your mom gives you grief, point out that she's the one who raised Tyrell. Your job is to raise and protect your own child, her grandchild, who is an actual child, who your adult brother and girlfriend are causing harm to. They might try for squatters' rights or tenancy. OP should kick them to the curb immediately or draw up an official eviction notice. I think a 5 to 10 day notice should have been sufficient. I would absolutely not have allowed them another 30 days. In some areas, 60 days is when you have to legally evict through court proceedings, which can take months because then it's considered their residence, even though they pay no bills and aren't on the lease. In my state, it's only 30 days. OP, they have to go today. I have a golden retriever named Max. He's been with me since college and is honestly my best friend. About 2 weeks ago, Max was diagnosed with a condition that requires surgery. Not life-threatening, yet time-sensitive. The surgery is scheduled for next month and is expensive, around $3,500. I've already paid the deposit and started budgeting carefully. Now, here's where it gets messy. My sister, 29, is getting married in 3 months and plans to have a destination wedding in Greece. I was supposed to be a bridesmaid. She recently asked all of us to pitch in an extra $1,000 each to help her and her fiancé fund their honeymoon. They're doing a month-long Europe trip after the wedding. This was not part of the original plan and she made it sound optional. At first. When I told her I couldn't contribute because of Mac's surgery, she got really upset. She said I was being selfish, that this is a once-in-a-lifetime moment for her, and that I'm prioritizing a dog over my human sister. She also said I'm single and don't have kids, so I don't get it. I said I love her and I'm happy to be there for her wedding, but I won't cancel my dog's surgery to help fund her vacation. She blew up and said if I can't be part of the full experience, maybe I shouldn't be in the bridal party at all. I'm hurt. I genuinely thought I was being reasonable. Some of my family agrees with her and says I should have just quietly said no instead of explaining why, because it made her feel less important. So, am I the idiot for choosing my dog's surgery over helping fund my sister's honeymoon? Not the idiot. I never understood people getting married in expensive locations and expecting people to just spend the extra money. On top of that, your pet needs surgery. Very simple. If you want to plan a big wedding and vacation, you should have enough funds for that and not rely on anybody. If anyone wants to support you, it should be from their own free will and not trying to force it on the person. None of this is even relevant. It's absolutely insane to ask people to pay for your honeymoon, period. It doesn't matter if OP is swimming in cash, Scrooge McDuck style, and can pay for 1,000 dog surgeries without blinking. Your honeymoon is not other people's responsibility. My exact thought, like, sorry? You're expecting others to help fund the honeymoon? LOL, people don't go on honeymoons if they can't afford them. Your marriage, your responsibility. The audacity. That's absolutely mental. And people are already forking out for a destination they may not be interested in. OP's sister is beyond selfish and entitled. The way my eyes would have rolled. Your sister has delusions of grandeur, and it seems some people are buying into her fantasies. Just look after Max. Pets rely on us, and they have no way of affording surgery, but your sister can get off her butt and work extra shifts or a second job to pay for a honeymoon. She can get a divorce in 3 months and have another wedding, but your dog needs surgery. I, 36 male, have a son, nearly adult, who's graduating from high school this year. His mom and I split up when he was young, and I married my now wife, 37, a few years ago. His mom doesn't live close by, so my son mostly stays with me, but he'll call her a few times a week and go over to her house on long weekends. My son wanted to invite me, my wife, his mom, and his brother, 19, to his graduation, but each student only gets up to 3 tickets. My son tried asking if he could get one more, but they told him that since the school auditorium wasn't very big, they wouldn't have enough seating if they gave students extra tickets. They told him the school usually does a raffle for extra tickets if they have any open spots, but the tickets aren't guaranteed. My son talked to me about it and said he didn't know what to do because he wanted both his mom and my wife to be there. He said that he could just invite my wife if it was easier and celebrate with his mom separately. I know that my son is still close with his mom even though he doesn't see her as often anymore. So I told him that unless there was a specific reason he didn't want her there, he should probably invite his mom first and put his name in for the raffle to try and get one for my wife. He seemed happy with this idea and called his mom to tell her. Earlier today, my wife asked my son about the graduation and he told her that he didn't have enough tickets for everyone but was trying to get an extra one for her. She asked who he had given the tickets to and he said me, his brother and his mom. She seemed a bit surprised but didn't say anything else. Later, she said if I could ask my son to give the ticket to her instead of his mom, and I told her no because it was his choice and he'd already told his mom. She said she didn't understand why he would give it to his mom when he doesn't even see her that often and that he should have just given it to her. I told her that I told him to invite his mom, and even if he doesn't see her as often, it doesn't mean that his mom doesn't matter to him. She got upset and asked why I would tell him that, and wouldn't I rather spend the day with her instead of my ex. I said that it didn't matter what I thought because my son is really close with his mom, and just because I've had issues with her doesn't mean that he does too. Now my wife is angry at me and accused me of just wanting to see my ex. I want my wife to come to the graduation, but it's more important that my son has his mom there. Am I the idiot? Most definitely not the idiot. Your son's graduation isn't about you, your wife, or your ex. It's about your son and his actual parents, assuming they're both involved in his life, and it sounds like you both are, should get to see this milestone happen. Your wife is incredibly insecure here. Seeing who looks more important to your son is not a contest. She should be ashamed for making his big moment about her instead of him. Was this not an issue when the 19-year-old graduated? We'd only been married for not even a year at that point, and she didn't know them as well, so it wasn't really a problem. Wait, so your wife has only been the stepmom for less than 3 years? Yeah, she's definitely in the wrong here and shouldn't feel entitled to a ticket. Some entitlement your now wife has. Seriously, it even crossed her mind that she should take your son's mother's place? Agreed. The fact that she's so self-absorbed, she can't understand why a kid wants his mother, whom he's still close to and talks with frequently, at his graduation is a massive red flag. Not even just that, but is she angry at OP about it? I can understand being upset and even momentarily angry out of hurt, but anything beyond that is concerning. OP, not the idiot, but you have a serious wife problem. I, 28 female, have been backpacking through Southeast Asia for a few months, specifically Thailand for the last month or so. At the beginning of the Thailand part of my trip, I met 2 other solo travellers in my hospital who seemed like good vibes, and we all ended up sticking together as a trio for the next few weeks. However, as time went by, it turned out they have a bit of a different travel style to me and are both quite type A people, where I'm much more go with the flow. I didn't think it was a problem, I just let them make the plans because they cared more than I did, and I just vibed along for the ride. I also have a tendency to be a bit disorganised and late to things, but never more than 5 or 10 minutes. Also, who really cares if we leave the hostel 5 minutes later than agreed for dinner or going to the beach? We're chilling in a fun place with fun people either way. Anyway, we're all getting along well, and over the last couple of weeks we've added 4 more people to our little team. That was until yesterday, when the original 2 sat me down and told me they don't want to travel with me anymore because it's irritating that I never contribute to plans and I'm often late. I told them that I would have been happy to compromise if I knew they were upset and that I genuinely thought my not contributing to the plans was making everything go smoother because I don't really care much what we do, so this way the team only has to balance 2 people's sometimes conflicting wants. Regardless if that's how they felt, I told them that it's sad but cool and I won't take it personally if they do their own thing. This is where the conflict comes in. They told me that they really like the group dynamic with the other 4 people we found, so they prefer if I were the one to leave, and that it was more fair that way because there are 2 of them and 1 of me. I told them I like travelling with the others too, and they're the ones with an issue, not me, so I won't be doing that. So, am I the idiot? Everyone's the idiot here. Type A people care if someone is regularly 5 or 10 minutes late, especially if they're the ones who put in the time and effort to make the plans, so you're the idiot there. With that said, it's up to the 4 other people who they'd like to travel with, so they're the idiots for trying to kick you out of the group. Oh my gosh, definitely not the idiot. I am also currently travelling in Southeast Asia. I met a group of friends I was travelling with. We all had different personalities and worked things out as needed. These people suck. You have to communicate with the others. So Jane, Judy and I have decided our personalities aren't meshing. After this accommodation block, we are going to go our separate ways. We all love the group vibe and no one wants to lose you as a group. So from here, my next step is describe your next planned location. As we'll tell you what they're thinking, tomorrow, no pressure, but would you mind letting all 3 of us know if you want to come with me or them or strike out alone? This will end badly for OP, LMAO. Imagine rolling in 5 to 10 minutes late and then delivering that speech. I guess the other 4 will go with the planners, and OP will discover that contributing nothing means that they aren't really needed. You are the idiot. Don't be surprised if the entire group leaves without you the next time you're late. I, 27 female, married my husband, 28, last April. We sent our wedding invites out a full year before our wedding and sent reminders 6 months before. My brother Jacob, 22, is the youngest of 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy, and my parents have always treated him like their precious golden child who can do no wrong. As adults, this has caused a lot of tension between us. He acts like a raging, hormonal teen boy. And it's definitely gotten worse with his fiancée Kelly, 21, who enables his bad behaviour. Kelly constantly tells him we don't appreciate him and should be grateful to have him as a sibling. My parents think that my sisters and I don't understand him and we don't give him enough grace. Jacob told me a week before my wedding that he wasn't coming because he would be busy with Kelly and they were going on vacation. I begged him to come and emphasised how important it was to me that he come to my wedding. My mom got involved at this point and assured me he would be there and not to worry. I didn't find out until an hour before I walked down the aisle. He wasn't there and didn't intend to be. I was devastated. My sisters and husband had to calm me down. I had my heart set on my entire family coming, and he was our ring bearer. When Jacob told our family he and Kelly were engaged, I was happy for him. He announced his wedding date was May the 30th of this year. He emphasized we all have to be there. His fiancée sent a text saying that our attendance was mandatory. I've been debating skipping his wedding. I don't get along well with Kelly, and my brother skipped my wedding. I mentioned possibly not going to my mom, and she was angry and told everyone. Now my brother, Kelly, and my parents are calling me an idiot, brat, and petty for maybe skipping his wedding. My sisters and husband agree that I don't have to go since they didn't go to mine, but I don't know if I would be the idiot for skipping my brother's wedding. Edit, Mom wasn't in the slightest bit upset he didn't come. She actually told me to grow up and not cry like a baby because he was busy. She had no care in the world. He didn't come and kept telling me it was my job to be an adult because I was older and set an example for him. Not the idiot. It's an invitation. You're free to decline for any reason. His fiancée is out of line to demand that the family attend. Your brother didn't attend your wedding, so he shouldn't be upset if you don't go to his. His behavior is incredibly hypocritical. Tell them all to go pound sand. His fiancée sent a text saying that our attendance was mandatory. What's she going to do if you don't turn up? Fine you? I mean, it's an invitation to an event that you don't have to attend if you don't want to. The only thing to consider is any lasting damage to relationships you might rather not destroy by not going, like your parents. Where was your family when your brother blew off your wedding, including his position as ring bearer? How could they justify giving you grief now? He's a narcissistic idiot, enabled by your weak parents. Make a stand. Don't go. Maybe he'll finally learn that not everything is about him. Update, it turns out my husband and my oldest sister's wife aren't invited either. Kelly doesn't want any spouses there since those are, in her words, temporary, and she doesn't want them in any pictures. My oldest sister has decided not to attend for that reason. Spouses are temporary? Attendance is mandatory, but your spouses aren't invited? You should be grateful for having an immature younger brother who chose a vacation over his sister's wedding, during which he was in the bridal party. Kelly is going to be an interesting addition to your family. I'll tell your brother and mom you'll go to his next wedding since spouses are temporary. Given the update, I hope the new info will help you overcome your qualms about not going. You didn't mention the other sister's thoughts, but if all three of you skipped it, it would send a message to your brother and your parents. That could be the catalyst for some or all of them to reevaluate their choices seriously. Or it could free you and your sisters from their nonsense.